Hey, and welcome to Final Judgment, the final retail Doom 64 level, and the final level of the Lost levels for Doom 64. Here we are. This level is very interesting. It basically serves as a jumping off point for Doom 64 and also helps to bridge the gap between this and Doom Eternal. So let's get to it. We're going to grab the invulnerability here. We're going to run outside, and during this phase of invulnerability, I'm just going to try and get rid of as many of these enemies as I can. I'm just going to fire wildly into the distance, get rid of this Cyber Demon as quickly as possible. 2 shots with a BFG, very nice. The intention here is to get rid of as many of these pain elementals as well. They are a big problem. The lost souls that they spawn are a nightmare to deal with. You can see there's a lot of Mancubus around this level. Mancubus, Mancubi. It's important to make sure that you use the corners in this level very, very effectively. There's a lot of enemies, and this level does remind me of the penultimate level from the original set of Doom 64 levels, No Escape. In fact, you can definitely tell a lot of inspiration was taken from that level for this one. And it's funny because when I played that level, I did say it probably made a better final level than Absolution. So I guess when they were making this, they kind of felt the same way, because there's very clearly comparisons to be made between the two levels here. The main objective though is to just clear this central arena out. Once you've cleared this arena out, the level's difficulty really does go off a cliff. Ultimately, a lot of these enemies are the main danger. I'd even argue that the multiple cyber demons are super easy to defeat, just because this level gives you so much ammo and so much health and multiple invulnerabilities. We're playing on the top difficulty here, and even on this difficulty, the game is very, very, very generous with what it gives you. And I'd argue that that's what makes this level slightly inferior to No Escape, but we'll talk about that at the end of the level. There's some Mancubus in that window there, just shooting out to me. The only thing with this level as well is that it's very easy to kind of lose track of where you need to be going, because you do need to grab the 3 demon keys. You'll have noticed in this run of the Lost levels we haven't been collecting demon keys, and that's because they're all located in this final level. Now that we've kind of cleared out most of the enemies around the arena, let's grab some of the better goodies in here. Save that for later. Grab the armor. It's a lot quieter now that we've dealt with all the enemies. You can see 1 demon key up there. You do actually need to grab the demon keys, otherwise the final boss will not spawn into the level. You can also see when you go into certain areas, you will have to face down against some cyber demons that spawn in. We'll grab this invulnerability. Oh, I missed you two earlier on, didn't I? The main thing about this level is that there's cyber demons that spawn in. So if you don't clear out this central area, things can get incredibly hectic. But if you take your time and you just get rid of the enemies, things are not that difficult. We've grabbed the demon key there, so a cyber demon should have spawned here. So that's this level's big trick, really. Not quite sure what hit me at the end there. Maybe the explosion from the cyber demon. Grab some of that health. If you hit this switch, a bunch of ammo is behind this wall. So if you're running low, which you really shouldn't be on this level, then that's the place to go. You can see this takes us around to the different caverns around the outside of the level. So right now I'm just trying to remember where it is we need to go to pick up these demon keys. You will have to do a bit of exploring just to find your way around. There's the second one. So I think we've got one more to grab here. In case I haven't shown it off, once we've killed this Cyber Demon, as I've mentioned, the Cyber Demons are really not that big a threat when you've got the combination of all the weapons you've been handed, as well as the demon keys on the Unmaker here. This is actually the first time in this whole playthrough I'm actually able to show you what the Unmaker is like when you've fully powered it up. It is pretty impressive. You need to bring down these switches here. We just need to find the final one. We can see the final one up there, but I do need to find how to get up to it. There we are. Final demon key acquired. That means that we can finally bring in the final boss of this level, and no surprises, it's going to be the Mother Demon. It actually creates a bit of a contradiction, the Mother Demon appearing here in the story, just because the original one implied there was only one Mother Demon, but apparently there are two. And with the fully upgraded Unmaker, this final boss fight is going to be an absolute joke. Just look how fast that is shooting into the boss there. Absolutely redonkulous. And that is the end of Doom 64's Lost Levels. I feel like this, in theory, should be a better level than No Escape, but ultimately, I think that it doesn't quite reach the heights that that level did. I think that this level just gives things away a bit too easily, and even though there's a lot more enemies on this one, I feel that the encounters aren't quite as intense. I feel that the Unmaker, for example, is just a bit too easy at the end there. It's way too easy to take out the final boss, in my opinion. And it's a real shame, because I get why they had to reuse it, but it kind of also exposes how the Mother Demon boss is a bit rubbish when it's not in sort of like a big open space. This text blurb here basically links us to the start of the Doom 2016 game and Doom Eternal, and it kind of explains how DukemGuy ends up in that situation. So yeah, Doom 64 is part of the modern Doom canon, which is part of the reason why it got this release in the first place. I'm never going to say bad things about Doom 64. I really like Doom 64. Really fun aesthetic, some really fun encounters, some great level design in there. I get some people don't like Doom 64, and some people really don't want to see Doom 64 because they feel it's not a proper Doom game. It's too slow. It's got repetitive use of textures and all that. But for me, Doom 64 has a very special place for me as a Doom gamer, as a gamer in general. It's one of my favourite first-person shooters on N64, on PC, on the modern consoles. So yeah, if you've not played this, I do recommend doing so. It is definitely worth your time. And as for Doom 64, I do plan to do a level breakdown review series at some point. I will get around to that when I do the rest of the Doom games in a similar fashion. So this is not the end of Doom 64 content on this channel. Let me know what you think of Doom 64. Do you like Doom 64? Do you hate Doom 64? Let me know what your thoughts are, and thank you so much for watching this series.